We're asking is, why is there a scam in every scheme of this government? We have with us Sudhanshu Mittal, leader of the BJP, Basudeva Acharya, Lok Sabha MP of the CPM, Ajay Jakar, chairman of the Bharat Kisan Sangh, Prakash Javadekar, national spokesperson of the BJP, Manish Shishodia from the Aam Aadmi Party, Dr. Devinder Sharma, economist, and Priya Sehgal, our political editor. We'll also be joined in the next minute or two by Sanjay Nirupam, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress. But Sudhanshu Mittal, from the BJP, scam after scam after scam, what do you believe is going wrong with this government?
I think let me just first comment on the scam itself. You see, with much fanfare, Mr. Chidambaram had announced the scheme on 28th February. And I just want to read out a few of his statements which he issued on the 23rd March 2008. Now, what did he say? We have already sensitized the national banks, the scheduled commercial banks and RRBs. We have also taken meetings to sensitize the cooperative institutions. This is what he said about implementation of the scheme. And what did he do? What did he mean by sensitization? That 22% cases of ineligible people are processed and the fraud is committed. He said, look, this is, again, I'll read out one more thing. In terms of scope, coverage and financial cost, this is the most ambitious scheme ever undertaken by any government of India. Look, the most ambitious scheme of any government in India is treated and monitored in such a casual, such a non-serious, such a fashion.
Let me put this to Ajay Jakar, chairman of the Bharat Kisan Sangh, who's with us. In 2008, this farm loan waiver scheme came out, removing 52,000 crore of debt to over 4 crore farmers. Now the CAG is saying 22% of all cases had fraud. Where's the money gone?
So the problem lies with the implementation agency, which is the banks. And now the bank managers in the particular branches have used the scheme to wipe out the bad debts. And they have tried to prove to their bosses, and obviously the bosses of all the banks at that time knew what was happening, and that's what they have done. They've tried to clear their bank records, make the bank balance sheets look better than what it is. But what is
but the problem is far bigger than this. The CAG is clearly saying that there are people who should not have had the loan, who got the loan, and there are others who were eligible who were simply not entertained by these people.
I completely agree with what you're saying, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. What is more important is that the farm loan agriculture credit is what the CAG needs to investigate, and CAG can only investigate and bank when it is called to investigate it. It's not in its own hands to go and investigate.
I think Sudhanshu Mittal wants to come in here. Go ahead, Mr. Mittal.
You see, the problem is CAG has said the Department of Financial Services was responsible for monitoring these schemes. They have completely failed in their responsibility in monitoring the implementation, and there is where the law fault lies.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Mr. Mittal, please hold your thoughts over there. I'll just come back to you. Sanjay Nirupam, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress, now joins us. Mr. Nirupam, how many scams is the UPA government going to take? Here's another one, your big flagship scheme, and other CAG is getting another big scam over here. What do you say to that?
See, CAG has basically found some lapses in the disbursement of the loan waiver. You must understand one point, that the policy was formulated by central government, but the loan waiver, the money was not disbursed by any government official, rather the banking institutions or the financial institutions.
No, Mr. Sanjay, I don't think you can shift the blame like this. I don't know if you read the CAG report. The CAG report clearly says, Sanjay, the CAG report clearly says the finance ministry was aware of the scam and it took no timely action. That's what the CAG report has said. You allowed the scam to carry on under your noses.
Can you allow me to
clear?
Can you allow me to complete?
Go ahead.
What is the exact lining of CNG? of the 80,299 accounts granted debt waiver or the debt relief, about 8.5% were not eligible. About 20.5 crores were given to ineligible people. When you are disbursing 52,000 crore rupees, and you yourself are not disbursing, rather the financial institutions have been asked to do it through the state government, state's own machinery. And in that, if 20 crore, the lapses of 20 crore is found, of course it's a case, but it is not such a big case that we should make hue and cry.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that? 10,000 crore has been looted of taxpayer money.
1 minute, let
10,000 crore.
Let me complete, please.
Sanjay,
Please let
remind
please
you
let me complete.
Please let me over here. Sanjay, hold on.
Please let me complete.
I'll tell you, I'm a taxpayer in this country. I object to what you're saying.
Please let me complete.
No, hold on. Sanjay, I'll tell you, as a taxpayer, I object to what you're saying. 10,000 crores been looted. I know your government is used to 1.76 lakh crore scams. तभी आपको 10,000 crore कुछ भी नहीं लग रहा है. Priya wants to come in over here.
I just want to tell Sanjay that he just has to look next to
10,000 crore का तो घोटाला है ही नहीं है.
face. The Congress is just giving the BJP more and more reason to smile.
Priya, can you allow me to complete, please? If
Yes,
you don't
Sanjay,
mind?
go ahead.
My point is, any CAG report which is tabled in the parliament, it comes to the PSC, and PSC is going to scrutinize it, and if something is wrong, if something is concrete in the report of the CAG, the PSC is going to recommend to take action against the people who are responsible or accountable for this kind of thing.
Sanjay, is this the zero-sum loss
If
argument?
any bank official, any financial institution official, any state government has done anything wrong, action has to be taken against these people, and I assure the whole nation through you and the CNAG that if their findings are correct, we are going to take action. We are not going to
So who is going to step down? What action will you take? Will someone take responsibility?
As a farmer, I would like to say, who are you going to take action against? Are you going to take action against the lower bank managers, or are we going to get the managing directors and chairmen of those banks who have retired now, who are responsible for this? That's the problem. Where does the buck stop? Does it stop with the chairman and the managing directors of those banks? And the fraud is of the public sector banks. The fraud is from the public sector banks. It has nothing to do with the private sector. It has nothing to do with the cooperative sector. Most of the fudging of facts is being done by public sector banks.
Can I read out a statement of Chidambaram ji on the same issue?
It is a very good question. Who action will be taken against who? 1 minute, Mr. Mittal, 1 minute. It's a wonderful question. The action has to be taken against whom? Yes, you are right. But let the PSC, 1 minute please, let the PSC scrutinize the whole report first and then come out to a final conclusion, and whichever bank, whichever MD of bank, whichever MD of whichever bank is involved in fudging the records, action has to be taken against
Okay, I like the way you're continually, Sanjay, shifting the blame like the government had no responsibility when the CAG is saying that the finance ministry was fully aware a scam has been going on. Basudevacharya from the CPM, the opposition says 10,000 crore is allegedly been siphoned off from the farm loan waiver. Bank managers, microfinance institutions, sure, they've been involved. But who else do you think has made the money? किसने पैसा खाया है Basudevacharya?
You see, whenever any scam takes place in our country, the same reply is given by the Congress. That after CAG report, this is the final report of the CAG. Government was aware of such things was happening, such a big fraud was happening in our country. In spite of that, government has not taken any action during this period, because the waiver was done in 2009 and 10, and during these years, what central government has done under this loan waiver scheme was monitored by whom? And RBI is the regulatory authority. What RBI was doing, what other nationalized banks are doing.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The government is fully aware of the scam because the CAG report is saying that.
It is not a small
sum. They did nothing.
10,000 crore means thousands and thousands farmers. You see, eligible farmers. They were deprived of the scheme, deprived of the money, and you will find many of these farmers have committed suicide for they were not being paid for the loan they have taken.
Acharya, let me put this point you made to Ajay Jhakar because he's chairman of the
loan was not waived, and they have to commit suicide.
Ajay.
Government should be held responsible for this.
CAG is saying eligible farmers have not been given the money, and ineligible farmers, many of them have been given this farm loan waiver. What are the farmers saying about all this?
I think it's absolutely right, but let me interrupt and come back to another point. The point is that the farm loan waiver was for around 50,000 crores. That's what the banks give as debt in the debt recovery tribunal to the industry every year. So farm loan waivers happened once in 10-20 years, and everyone's talking about it. The industry gets that much every year for not repaying loans, and nobody talks about it. And what is even more important is we wrote to all political parties, including the BJP, the CPM, and the Congress. So let me finish.
1,000 crore.
No, so let me finish.
We wrote written off every year.
So second point I'm saying is we wrote to all the political parties saying that the agriculture lending portfolio, which is announced by every finance minister, is fudged by 50% by all the public sector banks, and we demand a CAG. And not one political party supported our move. And that's the question you should be asking all political parties.
I'm again making the point. I'm again making the point that Sanjay Nirupam from the Congress can't just say it's nothing to do with us. We came out with a great scheme. The banks have messed it up. You guys knew about it, and I think Sudhanshu Mittal wants to come in. Go ahead.
You see, we are talking about the scheme and its implementation. One more statement of Chidambaramji on the same day I want to read out. The scheme itself is being implemented in a very simple manner. Already instructions have been issued, and each bank branch has prepared, both in hard copy and soft copy, a list of borrowers in the bank who are entitled to either debt waiver or debt relief. These lists are ready. This is what he says on 23rd May. Look, you make tall claims, tall statements. The primary responsibility of monitoring this scheme was that of the Department of Financial Services directly under the Finance Minister. A minister who claims that this is the most ambitious, the biggest and the most important scheme does not even spare a minute to even monitor the implementation of the scheme. 22% of accounts in a sample of 19,000.
Let me put this to Sanjay Nirupam of the Congress. Sanjay, in fact, the CAG, I'm repeating it, is saying the same thing. The Finance Ministry knew of the scam. It did absolutely nothing about it. The CAG says it took no timely action. What do you say to that?
Basically, in CAG report, I don't think we should focus on their strictures. We should focus on their countings and accountings. What was allowed by the parliament to spend and whether it was spent properly or not. And if some lapses are found, of course, that CAG report should be taken into consideration and the cognizance of that report should be taken and the action has to be taken accordingly. But the strictures these days, the Supreme Court and CAG, they have become very basically fond of passing strictures against the government and the ministry. I don't accept this kind of strictures.
Just there are monitoring cases under the which they examine and they bring out 22% discrepancies. And if this is what our response to such a finding is, then naturally you will like to defend the 2G scamsters, you will like to defend the chopper scamsters, you will like to defend all the scamsters.
But Sudhanshu, that is what Sanjay has done. In fact, I want to ask you a question, a personal question. In this age of big ticket scams, is being the spokesperson of the party an easy job?
Priya, as far as chopper scam is concerned,
yes.
Priya, 1 minute. I just want to remind Mr. Mittal, as far as chopper scam is concerned, Mr. Rajiv Tyagi, who is main accused in the whole thing, was election in charge of Atal Bihari Vajpayee in Lucknow in UP,
Sir,
in the parliament election. So please don't blame the government
instead of just taking out names, please act. I mean, it is your government, you have to act. Is there anybody who is claiming immunity for anybody?
We are going.
You decided in 2010
to take.
You take commission in 2011 12. And then you talk.
My dear friend, Mr. Mittal,
it amazes me. Look, the people of this country have seen your response to corruption.
Mr. Mittal, please allow me.
Believe me, they understand how evasive can you be on the issue of corruption.
See, I don't know, between all you politicians as a farmer,
Mr. Mittal, nobody is trying to be evasive. There is a system, there is a procedure. There is a system, there is a procedure in our country which is well laid in the parliament, in the constitution. Whenever CAG report is tabled in the parliament, it goes to PSC. Let the PSC work first, and if it is found really the lapses are correct and the findings are correct as far as the CAG report is concerned, then action has to be taken. Nobody is shying away from taking action against.
But Vasudeva Acharya from the CPM, I want to ask you,
I understand government very well. I understand parliament also very well. And Mr. Sanjay, let me assure you that if any government unilaterally wants to do correction in any faults which are pointed out, it does not require the sanction of anybody to undo the wrongs which have been done. So let's not take refuge behind all this. You see, it's very easy to say, look, this is sub judice, look, this is this is with this committee. Any wrong which has been committed can be corrected by the government any time. It needs no sanction from anybody. So let's not be evasive. Let's not try to create the spun. I mean, let's be forthright and let's be honest about the problem which exists.
Sanjay Nirupam, I'll just come back to you, but I want to ask Vasudeva Acharya, this CPM. This government has always said it's pro-farmer, pro-Aam Aadmi. But what signal does this latest farm loan waiver scam give to the people of the country?
You see that this farm loan, which was announced, the waiver which was announced in 2008, we all welcome it. And more than 4 crore farmers were to be benefited out of this scheme. But what happened in the implementation of this scheme, and many of the eligible farmers were denied, they were deprived, and you'll find that many of them have committed suicide, not being their loans were not waived. And it is not the fact that government was not aware during this time, because during 2 years, entire 2 years, these farm loans were waived. And you see the microfinance institution, their loan was waived. How that can take place, how that has been done, whether government was not aware that MFI was not eligible, MFI loan was not to be waived under the scheme.
No,
but that was also
one of the amazing things about the CAG report.
And government is quite
that all this is going on in a systematic way, and nothing was being done about it. And now when the CAGs come out with the report, now this thing we're having, Priya, the farm loan waiver, the Narega, these are the UPA government's, UPA one's flagship schemes. They won the general election 2009 because of these two schemes principally. What kind of political damage could the latest scam do to the government?
In fact, I was just wondering what Sanjay would say to that, because he comes from a state which faces a lot of drought, and the farm loan waiver scheme was a big hit in Maharashtra in the Vidarbha region. So there will be a political impact, not just on the constituency, but on the credibility of the government. That you promise things, but you cannot deliver. So that is where I think the Congress is going to face its biggest erosion.
I would actually differ on it, because we farmers always knew there was a problem. So it's nothing new, so people won't react to it.
You didn't vote for the Congress for the farm loan waiver?
No, I think farm loan waiver was very good. The intention of the government was very good. And the implementation agency
is wrong.
Is the public sector banks. When you are
it's
trying,
not just the farm loan waiver. In fact, let me put this to Manish Shishodia. Manish, all the flagship schemes of the government are hit by scams. Manrega, 30% of the money is reportedly stolen. Midday meal scam as well. Now the farm loan waiver scam. Big schemes announced, but how well thought out how well thought through are they, Manish?
All these people are killing the spirits, what Rajiv Gandhi said actually. He categorized it that 85% riches, is stolen or siphoned off and only 15% riches. Same is happening in each and every. We met Rahul Gandhi earlier, when we were not campaigning, in maybe 2007 or 8, I don't remember exactly. But we were talking about Swaraj, which Rajiv Gandhi spoke about. And Rahul Gandhi admitted this, I know that maximum money is siphoned off. But my problem is that he used the word big sharks. He told that there are big sharks involved around these schemes, and these schemes ultimately benefit these big sharks, not the common man. So government knows, who doesn't know it, but they willingly do it.
Let me put this to Sanjay Nirupam then. Sanjay, if you look at the Manrega scheme, the statistics show that from 2009 to 2012, the work generated from the scheme has dipped 25%, and a further dip is expected in this financial year. You know, all your schemes are not working. They're all failing, significantly failing, all of them.
I don't think you are right. All schemes are not working and failing.
It's not me. The government's own statistics are saying that.
As a matter of fact, because of our my dear friend, let me complete. Otherwise, you just continue. I'll listen to you. What is the use? What is the use of hearing us on the television if you don't allow us to speak?
I'm hearing you. Carry on.
my point is the idea behind loan waiver is was very good, but the implementing agencies was not central government. It was the banks. Basically decided with the state governments that they were implementing the whole thing. And
where's your oversight? Where's the government's oversight?
Rupees and trying to cover around 1 minute, my dear. When you are spending 52,000 crore rupees and trying to cover around 4 crore farmers, everybody is not going to be honest in the implementing procedure. So some sort of lapses must be there, and whoever is responsible for that, I am assuring you that he will not be spared.
But Sudhanshu, I have to ask you, what was the BJP?
As far as Manrega is concerned, it is one of the best schemes.
This is not a small amount.
You're saying some lapses are bound to be there. Manrega, 30% of money stolen. Farm loan waiver, 22% money stolen. And you're saying some lapses. Priya has a question for Sudhanshu Mittal.
No, I know it's poor Sanjay's in the hot seat right now, so I'll take the heat off you for a while. Sudhanshu, what would the BJP do different? Because, you know, even in the BJP must have faced similar problems when it was in NDA. How do you get the funds to the people?
You see, the issue is, if there is a problem in the implementation,
correct,
what is the intent of the government? The government can have two kind of responses. One is a typical Congress response, no, nothing wrong. And no, CH is nobody and this is nobody to say anything, no, everything is okay. The other response would be, look, if a fault has been pointed out,
right,
in the right earnestness of things, you go after the people who have defrauded the farmers. You go after the banks who have failed in their responsibilities in delivering the right thing.
But that's what Sanjay said. We will
allow me to speak.
Sorry.
Priya, Sanjay is only giving lip sympathy or lip service because the report is out for a long time now. And if the government was at all serious, it did not need any parliament or anybody else sanction to take action against the officers who erred. You see, I don't understand one basic phenomena of the government. Why does it want to take up the cause of people who are faulted? Why should it defend the offenders?
Right. Okay. I'm so sorry. We're in the last 1.5 minutes in this particular section, but I want to quickly, ask Sanjay that, look, the government has instituted an inquiry, but I hope there'll be some results, because I'm looking at the list over here. 2G and CWC arrested Raj and Kalmadi because of media pressure. But coal scam, Tata scam, other scam, VVIP chopper scam, inquiries are going on in each one of them. No results so far. So I hope that in this big scheme, another inquiry, but I hope there's not another no result over here.
See, whichever scams you are naming, I don't think any scam has been left unaddressed. The investigations are going on in each and every allegation.
That is the problem.
Either it's from the parliamentary committee or through CBI or through or in the court. So the investigations have taken place, and in this case also, investigation will take place. But try to understand one thing: in our country, there is a fault in the delivery mechanism. So that fault has to be basically taken care of. Unfortunately, for the last 60-62 years, no government has taken care of that fault prevailing in this delivery mechanism. And for that purpose, for that very purpose, we are coming out with new idea of this cash transfer scheme.
So,
that the money will go directly to the beneficiary.
Welcome, and we'll take over.
See, sir, the problem is that the intentions are always good, but policies in India are being consistently designed by people who've gone to the World Bank, who've gone to Wharton, who've gone to all the international institutes, and they don't know what's happening on the ground. They sit in Delhi, they make general policies for the whole nation, and policies obviously fail because of that, because the designing is wrong. That's the problem.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we've run out of time over here, but I think the bottom line is this, that the opposition says there's another 10,000 crore scam of the farm loan waiver. Now this follows several other scams that the UPA government has been hit by. Another inquiry has been instituted, but will it remain an inquiry, or will we get some results so that the taxpayers' money isn't continuously stolen? That's the big question of it. We'll take a short break. When we come back, our second debate tonight. Has Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav of UP turned Uttar Pradesh into crime Pradesh? We'll be right back.